Welcome to this tutorial of renewable energy resources. In this tutorial, we will discuss tidal energy and tidal power plants. In the discussion, we will discuss origin of tides, components of tidal power plants, types of tidal power plants, single basin single tide scheme, single basin double tide scheme, double basin scheme, site requirements for the tidal power plants, their merits and limitations of the tidal power plants. So first we will see origin of tides. If anybody asks the question, how does tide generates, then it is known that the reason for tide is gravitational pull of the moon and sun. So the cause for the tide generation is obviously gravitational pull, but it is not as simple as that. Suppose earth is here and moon is here. This moon revolves around the earth at a certain period of 24 hours and 50 minutes. Means it will make a complete revolution of the earth in 24 hours and 50 minutes. Now, if we consider the gravitational pull of the moon, it will pull this portion of the earth towards the moon. Means in this condition, the tide should occur at this point. This point again will come in front of the moon after a complete revolution, means after 24 hours and 50 minutes. That means the tide in this way, if we consider this theory, the gravitational pull of the moon, the tide should occur only once in a day, but it is two times tide occurs in a day. Means in a single period of the rotation revolution, tide occurs two times. Means some other theory is there to explain the tide. So actually moon and earth, if we consider the system as a system, moon and earth as a system, then if we will observe the center of gravity lies inside the earth of this system. Means center of gravity of this system will lie inside the earth, because obviously earth is heavier than the sun. If earth is heavier than the sun, the center of gravity will lie inside the earth. For the simplicity, we can consider the center of gravity lies somewhere here. For the simplicity, we can consider, but it is close to the earth because earth is the heavier mass than the sun. Then what will happen? The earth will rotate around this center of gravity and moon will also rotate around this center of gravity. Means earth will rotate like this around this center of gravity and moon will also rotate like this around this center of gravity. And it seems that moon revolves around the earth, but actually they both are moving around the center of gravity of this system. So if we see, it will seems like the acceleration of the rotation of moon always directed towards the this center of gravity. Also the acceleration of the earth always remains towards this center of gravity. If we observe closely, we can see that the earth is falling towards the moon and moon is falling towards the earth. This is simple. They are following the same center of gravity. Their acceleration always remains towards the center of gravity. Then it seems that the earth is falling towards the moon and moon is falling towards the earth. Now if we see the effect of the gravitational pull, then in this case, if we consider earth and we consider moon, then if we are considering that the earth is falling towards the moon, then this point here, let me change the marker. If earth is falling towards the moon, then this point here, which is in front of the moon, and one point here, which is far away from the moon, moon will exert more force at this point. Suppose this is point A and this is point B. This is radius r1 and this radius, this distance is r2. Because distance of B from the moon is larger than the distance of point A from the moon, then the force exerted on the point A will be more than the point B. Then it means point A will move towards the moon with a greater acceleration than the point B. Means this point A will move more faster than point A. This point A will move at a faster rate towards the moon than point B. Then what will happen? Because this point is moving fast and this point is moving slow, this shape will be elongated like this. Means a bulge is formed at point A and to the opposite side of the point A, which is point B. Because earth is solid, it cannot be stretched, but the water, the liquid portion of the earth, stretches towards the moon and away from the moon. The point which is in front of the moon, it will be stretches towards the moon, and the point to the opposite side of the moon will stretches away from the moon, and in this way a bulge is formed. So in this way, let me redraw the diagram. Earth is here, moon is here. This is not only the gravitational pull, this is not only the force of the moon forming the tide, this is the differential force of the point A and the point B. This is because of the differential force the tides are formed. If the earth is elongated like this, then these 2 points at the earth, these 2 points will feel high tides, whereas these 2 points will feel low tides. That's why tides occurs two times in a day. One times in front of the moon and second times when it is in the opposite direction of the moon. This is the reason why high tides occur at every interval of the 12 hour and 25 minutes, because the period of rotation is 24 hour and 50 minutes. So the high tides will be formed at exactly half of the period, means 12 hour and 25 minutes. This is the total theory of the tide generation. Now if we look in the diagram, it explains in the same way. These 2 points here will feel, these 2 points will feel high tide, whereas these 2 points will feel low tides, because the earth is elongated like this because of differential force exerted by the moon on the earth. So why we are not taking the force exerted by the sun into the account? And it is also known that this tide uh, becomes very high when earth, moon and sun occurs in a same line. At that time the height of the tide is very high. Why? Because of sun, force exerted by the sun on the earth is larger than the force exerted by the moon. But the differential force, means the difference in the force due to moon at point between point A and B, difference in the forces, means if the force exerted by the moon at the A is Fa, force exerted by the moon at the point B is Fv, then this differential force Fa minus Fv is greater due to the moon, because moon is closer to the earth, whereas this differential force exerted by the sun on the earth is lesser than the force exerted by the moon. So even though the force, if we consider the force at point A due to the sun, it is greater than the force exerted by the moon. But if we consider the differential force, this differential force is greater due to the moon only. It is about 2.2 times greater than the force differential force exerted by the sun. But if we consider only force at point A, then it is greater in case of the sun. Force at the point B is greater due to the sun than the moon. But if we consider the differential force, then the force differential force due to the moon is dominating. That's why the force due to the moon is responsible for the tides on the earth. Now if we look in this theory, the origin of tides, tides are produced due to gravitational pulls exerted by the both the moon and the sun. As moon is nearer to the earth, the gravitational pull of moon is about 2.33 times stronger than that of sun. It is not only gravitational pull, because mass of the sun is is far larger than the mass of the moon. That's why the gravitational pull of the sun is far greater than the gravitational pull of the moon. So it is not simply the gravitational pull, it is the differential force exerted by the moon greater than the exerted by the sun. If we consider only gravitational pull, then gravitational pull is higher in case of sun, not in case of moon. But if we consider differential force, then the force due to the moon is dominating. Owing the gravitational pull of the moon, surface water on the earth facing moon is pulled and raised towards the moon. It is not the water only facing towards the moon. The water to the opposite side of the moon also feels a pull, and so water moves from poles to equator where the moon pull is maximum. This movement of water results in the formation of high tide at the earth's surface facing the moon. A corresponding high tide is also formed on the opposite side of the earth as solid earth is pulled away from the water surface, which results in the apparent rise of the water. The source of tidal energy is a difference in water levels between high tides and low or ebb tides. During one tidal cycle of 12 hours and 25 minutes, the water level rises to maximum during high tides, then it's, then it starts falling to a minimum level at low tides, and finally it starts rising again to a maximum level at high tides. The difference in water levels between high tides and low tides is the potential energy of water which can be harnessed. This harnessed energy called the tidal energy. In a tidal power plant, a reservoir behind a embankment or barrage is filled up during high tides, and stored water is made to flow out of the reservoir into sea through turbines coupled to electrical generators during low tides. The tidal range can be as high as 15 meter, but minimum tide range must be at least 5 meter for working of a tidal plant, because this pull exerted the earth, but earth is solid, it will not be elongated, but the water feels a high level during the high tide. This tide it not this tide cannot the effect of this tide cannot be experienced in the open ocean. Means, if we see the open ocean, we cannot experience this tide very much, because it is in the open ocean, it is it is of very low height, it is about 2 feet only. So but when it comes at the bank of the ocean, which is like this bank of the ocean, when this tide comes in this bank, it feels, it gets very high. So a high tide can be experienced at the bank of the ocean. This is same happened in case of tsunami. Tsunami was not experienced by the ships moving in the ocean. The people who was there in the middle of the ocean, they doesn't experience any pull, they doesn't experience any tide, but it is it causes flood at the bank of the ocean, because this is the reason why when this tide reaches to the bank of the ocean, its height increases. Now we will consider components of tidal power plants. There are only three basic components of the tidal power plants. So before we begin, we will see the construction, how it is constructed on a bank of a ocean. It is The idea is to utilize the tidal energy. We When high tide occurs, we have to store the water somewhere, and when the low tide occurs, we have to release the water in the ocean. Means, during the high tide, the reservoir fills up and it becomes empty during the low tide. Means, and in the power generation, the difference of the levels of the ocean and level in the reservoir, these two differences are utilized to generate the power. means during the high tide, when the water level of the ocean increases, the water goes into the reservoir. A basin is created near the bank of the river. When high tide occurs, the water fills up in the basin, and when low tide occurs, the water gets empty to the ocean. This creates a water level difference in the level of basin and level of ocean. This difference in the level can be utilized to generate the energy. So, to construct a tidal power plant, it is important first to construct a basin. It is if for the purpose of large power, high power generation, it is important to construct a large basin. So it is beneficial to construct a large basin. Instead of constructing it, if we find a site like this, it is if some natural site is made like this, we can utilize this near the ocean to generate the electricity. So this is the very basic idea of constructing a basin to store the water during the high tide and release the water to the ocean during the low tide. So if we find such location, we can construct this tidal power plant very easily. So the first component of this power plant is dam or dike. This is called basin. This is constructed near the ocean, at the coast of the ocean. So the first component of this system is dam or dike. The function of a dam or dike is to form a barrier between sea and the reservoir basin. Dam is also built between basin in case the plant has more than one basin. So this dam forms, if basin is like this, then this dam is formed here. This dam is formed here to control the flow of the water inside and outside of the basin. The second component of this power plant is sluice ways. Sluice ways are gates are used in the sluice ways to restrict the flow of the water inside the basin and to control the flow of the water outside of the basin, as it is seen here. As the basin is created like this, this sluice ways are constructed in this way here, and a turbine is located here. So there is a gate, here is another gate in the sluice ways to control the flow of the water. And finally, at the end, we have to utilize this energy for what purpose? To generate electricity. Then the other component of this whole system is powerhouse. A powerhouse consists of turbines, electric generators, and other auxiliary equipments. The water with high potential energy is made to run through turbine to run generators for power production. This is the very basic idea how tides are generated, how the gravitational pull of the moon is important, and how the power plant, tidal power plants can be constructed. Then next things we will discuss in another video. This is end of this tutorial. Thank you.